And I'm on speaker view. So again, welcome. Glad you could join me. Um, and I'm just going to sit right here. So find a comfortable seat. And I'm kind of just going to settle in my chair here. So this is another way that you can kind of clear the mind and focus and just release and kind of, when the world's caving in on you, wherever you are, you can just stop. Just stop, get off the world, just step off of it. So find a comfortable position wherever you are, in a chair, wherever you are, and just notice. Just notice the feet, notice the sit bones, notice the back, resting against a chair if you're in a chair. Just all the parts of the body that are in contact with the mat or the earth. And then release down. Just let the weight of the body settle down through those contact points. And the hands just release. Teeth are parted just slightly. And you're breathing, just let the breath flow. Eyes closed or eyes open. Just breathing. And releasing with each exhale. Good. And everyone take a deep breath in, fill the lungs. Open the mouth and let it go. And another deep breath. And let it go. Yeah. And those couple of minutes, that minute or two of just settling, and I'm not even sure how long we were there, but you can lose track of time when you're doing that. But when you get done, you go, wow, that feels pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and move the chair out of the way, come back to the mat. Find my block. I've got my strap here. And kind of find that upright seat. Yeah. And I'm going to start some gentle movement. So basically, I'm just kind of moving my head just gently to loosen that neck a little bit. And you can do the routine that I teach sometimes or often, and that's to turn the head and look over each shoulder and then let the chin drop. But you kind of put this neck exercise together the way you want it. What feels pretty good to you. And you just move gently here. And I'm not a big advocate of a big circling of the head, because sometimes you can get a catch in the neck when you do that. So I'm just working the head around just a little bit and letting the shoulders relax. So these are little hints for your home practice, right? Again, when you take a few minutes for yourself to just kind of move. Good. And then I can move to the shoulders here. And there's two ways: the shoulder rolls, where you take the shoulders up and then you bring them forward and down and rotate them back and bring them up again, and then go the other way. Yeah, moving the head to keep the neck relaxed. And the other option is to just lift the shoulders up toward the ears and then take the points of the shoulders back and bring the shoulder blades together and down. Again, gently moving the head. Neck is relaxed, face is soft. And through all this, you're breathing. No strain, no stress. I'm holding my shoulders back now and just breathing. I'm going to take one more breath here and release the shoulders. Good. All right. So moving down a little bit more into the arms, extend the arms straight out to the side with the palms down. And you can do this little exercise with the arms extended to the sides, or you can actually draw them and bring them in and extend them out in front. And this is one of those things that, whatever feels good to you. I like to kind of take up space here. So I get as wide as I can with my arms strong. Again, keeping the neck relaxed. Fingers are spread, and I'm feeling that in my hands. And then turn the fingers up toward the ceiling and press out through the heels of the hands. Draw the pinky fingers back towards you, and you'll feel it. I feel it. And bring the palms down to the floor, and then either fists or bird beak with the fingers and thumbs together down toward the floor. And then open the hands wide. And now I like to bring the palms together out in front, pressing the hands in, pressing the hands together, arms strong and straight. And then let the hands float up toward the ceiling. Be nice to your shoulders. Remember, there's no pain. Breathe. And then turn the palms out, exhaling, and the hands and arms come down and back to the legs, and just move. And some other shoulder stretches in the quiver there. You can bring, from the arms wide, you can bring the right arm across, the left arm under, that hand comes to the shoulder, and you do that gentle contraction or stretch here in the shoulder. And then come wide, and then the other arm across, and the right hand comes under. And staying tall here. And then the arms wide, and bring the hands back down. A little bit of a stretch here for that tricep is to bring the right elbow up to the ceiling and the other hand comes across, or you can come into not eagle arms, but into cow face with the left hand behind the back. And then release on that side, and then take the left elbow up, right hand across. And kind of let your fingers walk down the spine, upper spine. And then you can release on that side. And then I move down the body. So there's kind of a pattern to it, right? I start with the neck and I kind of work down to get to the toes and the feet. But and you can do some circles here. So just gently come forward with a long spine, and then take the body out to the right and do some circles, and make the circles kind of just feel good. And the object here is to kind of do this with the breath. So you're focusing, you're feeling, and you're breathing. And you can be slow or fast, whatever you know feels right for you. And then go the other way. And all these movements are gentle. They're just warm up movements. And then come back to that upright seat. And then I add a side bend and a twist in there somewhere. So let's do the twist. Bring the left hand across to the outside of the right thigh, and then the other hand comes behind. Or you can extend that arm and then look toward that extended hand. I'm going to the right. And then come back to the front. And it's a little bit different style twist, but bring the right hand across, and then if you choose, you can extend the left arm and let the gaze follow the left hand. And come on back to the front. And after you do twists or side bends or something, sometimes it's kind of good to do a forward bend to let everything kind of get reoriented. So lift up tall, exhale, and then come forward and release the head down toward the mat. And as you inhale, round up. And drawing the shoulders back, take everything forward and down, releasing, exhaling, and inhale up. And one more time, coming forward, and then release the head, and round up. Yep. And if you do that one other time as you come forward, now if you want, you can kind of do a gentle twist over toward the right. Take the heart toward the right knee. And then come to center and take the heart toward the left knee. And come to center, and one more time, rounding up. And then the side bend, I like to start with the arm extended, and I've got my right hand extended, coming up tall. And when I inhale, I just let that hand reach up toward the ceiling. Draw the right shoulder back. I'm gazing up there, reaching as high as I can, and pressing down, or actually feeling like I'm pressing down into the mat with my sits bones. And then bring the left hand out, arc over to the left. And stay here as long as is reasonable, 4 or 5 breaths. And then the hand comes up, still reaching, and then release. And on the other side, extend the left arm. Again, lift up tall, reach forward, and then let that hand lift up toward the ceiling. And you can do the arm circles that we do sometimes, if that feels okay for you. And then bring the right hand out, arc right. And you can do things here with the head. You can take the gaze down toward the floor and then back toward the ceiling. One more breath. And then the hand comes back up, reach, and release. Good. And some movement here again. Just kind of bring things back in line. Good. All right. So I'm moving to a cross-legged seat, bringing out my right leg. And I'm going to stretch my leg out because my knees were bent. Now I'm going to get long through that leg and strong. Draw the outside edge of that foot toward your face. And then circle those toes. And the other way. And point the toes and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. And other things you can do is outer rotate that thigh, point the toes out to the right. And then to the ceiling, and then turn the toes in. Yeah, and bring the foot across. And if you want, you can do that foot massage that we occasionally do, but just rock the baby or do the foot massage. And that foot is wherever you want it to be, down on top of the left leg or lifted up high across the chest. Just be sure there's no sensation in that knee, so you're not torquing that knee. And then with the strap of your hand, you extend that leg. And this is the first time we begin to think about those hamstrings. And take the foot out to the right. And bring it to center. And now we're going to do that twist again, where we're going to bring the foot to the left, extend that right arm, drawing the right leg across the body. Bending that knee. Just try to keep everything relaxed other than the strong right arm and working that left hand on that foot. And come back to center. And again, you can get strong through the leg as you lift a little higher. And then the core strength, letting go. Feel the firmness in the belly here. And then release down. And switch out to the other side. Left leg comes out. And drawing the outside edge of that left foot toward you. And circle the toes. And the other way. And point the toes and flex. And point and flex. And point and flex. And then the outer rotation. Pointing the toes out to the left. And bringing them up, and now turning the toes to the inside. Inner rotation. And then bring that foot across for the foot massage or rock the baby. And then the extension. And take the foot to the left. And this side's a little tighter for me than the right side was. Just noticing those things. And then back to center, crossing over, extending the left arm. And now come back to center, strong through the foot, lifting. And the core strength. Letting go. And then release. I'm going to stay in my cross-legged seat for just a breath or two here. Just settling down through my feet and legs in contact with the mat, and my sitting bones on my block. And I'm going to breathe. Okay. Bring the feet out in front now. We're going to come down to our backs. So with the hands behind the knees, just gently roll down. And bring the right knee into the chest. And circle those toes the other way. And then draw the right knee out to the right with the right hand. And the knee comes back up to the ceiling. And bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee and just gently roll onto your left hip. Extend the right arm, gaze to the right, shoulder blades are down on the mat. And a gentle twist. And the knee comes back to the ceiling. Extend the right foot straight up. Strong through that lifted leg. And then lift the head and the shoulders and lift the left foot off the mat. Strong through both legs now. Arms are reaching toward the top of the mat. One more deep breath. And the right, left leg comes down, head and shoulders come down, hands come down to the mat. Still strong through the lifted leg. And then slowly lower that right leg down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay, good. Palms up, toes out. Breathe. Ah, yes. Bring the left knee into the chest. Good. Circle the toes. Do what feels good. Scrunch the toes, whatever. And with the left hand, draw the left knee out to the left, gazing to the right. And bring the knee up. Right hand comes over to the outside, and then you come onto the right hip, gazing to the left. And go to sensation and just breathe. And try and release and relaxed. And bring the knee back up to the ceiling and extend the left foot straight up. Get strong here through the left leg. And lift the head and the shoulders, lift the right leg, reach toward the top of the mat. One more breath. And bring the right foot down, bring the palms, hands back to the mat, head and shoulders, still strong through the lifted leg. And lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Now just breathe. Let it all go. Oh, I didn't silence the phone. Damn. Oh. Just breathe. And things were going so well. Okay. So bring the arms overhead now. And we'll do a nice body stretch, but we'll do a cross stretch. So extend the right arm behind you and reach through the right fingers, and now stretch out through the left heel. Reaching, breathing, and release on that side, and then the left fingers, left hand, and the right foot. And release on that side. Okay, good. Bring both feet all the way into the hips, and we'll just do some bridges here. So press into the mat with the feet and just let the hips lift up toward the ceiling. Exhaling, the hips lower. Inhaling, kind of rolling those hips up toward the ceiling. Exhaling down. And inhaling, the hips lift. And we're going to hold here. Roll the shoulder blades under the body. So you kind of waddle back and forth and bring the shoulder blades underneath. And then interlock the fingers and squeeze the heels of the hands together underneath the body. Press the hands down toward, down toward the heels and lift the hips up toward the ceiling. One more breath. And then release the hands, bring the hands out from under and gently settle the hips back down to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees just go wide. Bring the knees back up to the ceiling and bring both knees into the chest and then take both feet straight up. Open the legs wide, turn the toes to the outside, and bring the hands in prayer between the wide legs. So the head and the shoulders are lifted. You're reaching forward with the fingers. Toes are turned out, and you're breathing. Now bring the hands to the inside of the knees and just gently, gently open those knees, legs a little wider. Now the toes are pointed back toward the back of the mat. Good. Release, bring the feet together up toward the ceiling. Take the head and shoulders back down. Take a big deep breath in. And then bend the knees, bring the feet back down, put the soles together, turn the knees out and breathe. Knees come back to the ceiling, both knees into the chest, gently rock side to side. And now we need to put those hips back in where they're used to being. So we're just gently moving here. Good. Bring the hands behind the knees and now just gently rock up, bring the feet to the mat, and then settle back onto the shoulder blades and come back up and back to the shoulder blades. There's a little back massage when you do this. Just rocking back and forth. And the next time you come up, just balance. Staying long through the spine, knees are bent. You're breathing. You straighten your right leg. And then bend the right knee and straighten the left leg. And back to the right leg extended. And the left leg extended. And the feet come down to the mat. Ah, good. All right, so let's come over onto all fours. Finding that table. Again, just kind of letting everything settle back into place. Gazing straight down, fingers spread. And a couple of cat-cows here. As you inhale, lift the head, press the belly toward the mat, and as you exhale, just let the head drop and press the middle of the back toward the ceiling. Inhaling, gazing straight ahead. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling and exhaling. One more round. And coming back to neutral. Let's do the big circles. So take the body out to the right and then take the hips back toward the heels. Open the knees a little bit and then body comes to the left and forward and to the right and back. Let the head settle as you come back. Gazing forward as you come forward. And to go the other way, to the left and back, and to the right and forward. And with the hips back toward the heels, just extend the hands up toward the top of the mat. Let the head go. And initially here, you can have the elbows down on the mat. And you can rest the head on a block or take it all the way down to the mat if it'll go there. If it doesn't, that's okay. And now walk the hands toward the top of the mat. So the elbows now come off the mat. Hands are strong. Arms are strong. Pressing the hands down into the mat and gripping the mat with the fingertips. And on an inhale, come up and forward, still on the knees, into knee plank. Gaze is down just off the front of the mat. Exhaling, take the hips back. Inhaling long through the spine as you come forward. Elbows in tight to the body. Exhaling back. And inhaling, come up and forward into knee plank. And now take the gaze straight ahead. Let the hips settle toward the mat. A gentle upward dog. And exhaling, bring the hips back toward the heels. And bring the hands or arms in and cross the arms, rest the head. And you can gently move in child's pose. Now come up into table. And the knees come in under the hips. Curl the toes and lift into downward dog. Oh, yeah. Okay. And working the heels. And now walk the hands back toward the feet. And come into half lift. So the heels are turned out slightly and you're pressing the belly down toward the toes, but there's no big strain here. And the legs may have a slight bend in them, and you're kind of straightening those legs one at a time. Now exhale down to forward fold, bend the knees, let the head go. And bend the knees enough that you can get your fingertips down on the mat. Now lift the head, bend the knees, take the arms straight out in front in the chair. We won't stay here long. One more breath. As you exhale, lift the hips, let the head go toward the back. And work those heels. And one more time, get long through the spine, bend the knees, reach forward with the hands, and bring the weight back toward the heels or the center of the feet. And one more breath. And exhale and lift the hips back to the forward fold. Press into the mat with the front of both feet and lift the hips up toward the ceiling, keeping the fingertips on the floor. And now walk the hands away back into downward dog. And step the feet toward the hands, now moving toward the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. And with bent knees, round up to standing. Oh, good. All right. Mountain pose. Inhale and bring the hands up. And now we're going to do the spinal flow, arcing to our right, right hand down, left hand lifted. Inhale and come up. And exhaling, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Our twist to the right, palms toward the ceiling, arms wide. Inhale up. And exhaling, our twist to the left. Inhaling up. Hands through the heart, forward fold. Bend the knees, hands come out of front, long and strong through the spine, coming up. And exhaling the hands back. Inhale up. And exhale, mountain pose. Good. Yoga flop. Ragdoll. So let's come down and we'll do a couple of lunges. So inhale the hands up and then exhale into a fold. Inhale, half lift. And step back with the right foot, way back. So we're in a high lunge, strong through the right leg, through the right heel. And the left heel is ahead of the knee, just slightly, or under the knee, but not behind the knee. And bring the right knee down, release the top of the foot, right foot to the mat. And now just gently lift the head and let the hips settle here. And if you choose, you can bring the hands to the knee and come into crescent lunge. And bring the hands in prayer to the heart. Prayer twist, right elbow to the outside, twisting left. And coming back to center, and bring the hands down. Take a breath. And on the next exhale, just move the hips back and walk the fingers back. And you can use blocks under the hands if that's better for you, feels better. Draw the left hip back, pressing the toes of the left foot down into the mat. And now flex that left foot. Still a bend in that knee. And coming back forward into low lunge. Take the gaze out in front, curl the toes, high lunge. And just take that right foot up beside the left, half lift. Exhale, fold. And now lengthen through the spine, bend the knees, and press to come up. And exhale, mountain pose. Yeah. And on the other side, inhale the hands up. Exhale and fold. Come to half lift. And step the left foot way back. Take that breath right here. Bring the left knee down. Release the left toes. Take the gaze straight ahead. Let the hips settle. And now crescent lunge. Keeping the hips low, gazing to the ceiling. And bring the hands in prayer. Left elbow to the outside, right elbow lifts. And coming back to center, hands to the mat. Take that exhale. And now take the hips back. Pressing into the mat with the right toes. Flex the right foot. And now come back forward, low lunge. Gaze lifts into high lunge. And then the big step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhaling, press with the feet to come up, long spine. Exhale, mountain pose. Good, all right. From mountain, inhale up and exhale, fold. Half lift. And big steps, 2 big steps back to plank. Inhale, and on the exhale, lower down. Come to cobra for just a couple of breaths. Light pressure in the hands, toes pressing down, tops of the toes pressing down into the mat. And now just press up to the knees, hands and knees, table. Move here. And now bring the feet around to the front. We already did some ab work when we were down here before. So bend the knees just a little bit. Lift up tall. Point the toes back toward your face. And then exhale into a seated forward fold. And let the head go toward the knees. And there's no shame in a bend in those knees, not at all. the way it should be. And inhale and come back up. Take the feet wide. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So feel the sits bones on the mat. Keep a little bend in the knees. Lift up tall, and then fold between the wide legs. And we hadn't done this one in a while. I can feel it. And inhale, release, and come up. Bring the feet back in. Bring the hands behind the knees, and now come down onto your back. Bring the feet all the way into the hips, and we'll do just a breath or two in figure 4 with the left ankle on the right knee. Flex the left foot. And bring the right foot down. Release the ankle. Bring the right ankle onto the left knee, and figure 4. And bring the left foot down, release the ankle. Take the arms wide. And let the knees fall over to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Knees to the ceiling. Let the knees drop over left. Gaze right. And knees back to the ceiling. Bring both knees into the chest. Yeah, gentle rock it. Rock left and right. And then extend the legs. Full body stretch here. Inhaling, pressing through the heels, reaching behind you. And exhale into Savasana. And we'll be here for about a minute, maybe. Just noticing the breath. Notice the heartbeat. Wiggle the toes, the fingers, bend the knees and elbows. And you can come up to seated or stay right there, it doesn't matter. Thank you for practicing today, and have a good weekend, and we will see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.